Yeah, I think that the globalization of the economy, first of all, it's very important that people realize that this is an economic trajectory. It's a very specific process. It's about the deregulation of global trade and finance. What does it mean to deregulate global trade and finance? It actually means deregulating the movement and the activities of large multinational corporations and banks. Now, most people today recognize that very large multinational corporations are problematic. They recognize that very often they are influencing the political process in an undue and very unjust way. And therefore, the link between the power of multinational corporations and this deregulation of trade and finance is an incredibly important issue. I think this structural problem with deregulating global trade and finance is more important that we understand that than that we demonize particular corporations or demonize the people within them. This is not a question of good guys and bad guys. It's a question of scale. It's a question of when business entities become larger than governments, we have a structural problem. The for-profit motive becomes unduly important. That doesn't mean that the for-profit motive is in and of itself wrong. It doesn't mean that we can't have business that is truly free and where there is an enterprise that is proud of performing well, of providing goods and services for consumers. But it needs to be under the umbrella of social and ecological concerns and priorities. So for a long time in ISEC, we've been trying to raise awareness about this, and we've been trying to show that the process of re-regulating global trade would be a relatively simple thing to do structurally. It's not so easy to do politically until people understand it better, so that there's a larger critical mass of people demanding this of their governments. But it's beginning to happen. There's already a growing opposition to the further globalization of the economy. In the meanwhile, at the local level around the world, there are many groups and institutions working to strengthen local economies. And local economies, by definition, are economies where the communication between producers and consumers starts to happen, where there is a greater human scale interaction between the two. The distances are shortened, but we're talking about a process of shortening distances. This is not about absolutes. It's not about saying, well, you should only eat local food right now. In many parts of the world, if we said to people, you have to eat only local, you'd be saying, you're going to live on cotton and nothing else. You're going to live on canola oil and nothing else. So we have to understand that we're talking about a process of change, of moving towards diversifying economic activities around the